Cheers, Mainstay.
So yes, hello everyone, welcome to the first part of the BUKC Finals Weekend here at Clay Pigeon. It is of course Mainstay. Each driver takes part in one race in the morning and one race in the afternoon, and I'm delighted to say that we have a number of people here representing Rich T Racing, one of which is of course myself, JJ. Die-hard viewers will recognise that this chap is Tom Hollenby, who helped us on our way to our very first podium in the Club 100 Endurance Series back in February at Buckmore Park, and even more die-hard viewers who have followed us over from Swansea will recognise this chap. It is of course Jasper Chamberlain. P-Dubs was also here today, but unfortunately he was not able to get himself a seat this after I had promised him that I would get him a seat. So yeah, unlucky there P-Dubs, but he will be racing tomorrow in the Inters. And speaking of which, there will be videos for the Inters Day and of course for Drivers' Championship as well. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel and have that bell hit for notifications so that you know when those videos come out. So out first for the Rich T boys was Jasper. Should point out that of the four of us, only P-Dubs is still at university, still at Swansea. So the rest of us are all racing as ineligible drivers for different universities. Jasper and Tom are racing for Sheffield, and I am racing for Huddersfield. But it was Jasper who went out first, and he has a GoPro, he had it on, so I decided not to film what he was doing, just so I could enjoy what was happening before me, and it was absolutely fantastic. It'd been even better if Jasper had remembered to turn on his GoPro, so I'm going to have to try and describe it to you from memory. Basically, Clay Pigeon is the site of Jasper's one and only victory in karting, as far as I'm aware, certainly at this level, and we weren't sure which Jasper was going to turn up. He can be quite temperamental. It normally depends on if he's been drinking the night before or not. Actually, funnily enough, if he has been drinking the night before and is hungover, he's actually really good the next day, and it turns out that the amount of alcohol he consumed the night before was enough because he was on absolutely fantastic form, racing toe-to-toe with none other than British Formula 3 driver Piers Pryor. And in the end, Jasper would beat Piers because Piers would pick up a 4-place penalty, knocking Jasper off the track, and Jasper would go out and to finish in 7th place. An absolutely fantastic achievement, and it was really, I'm not going to lie, it was really great to see Jasper doing so well. Unfortunate that we didn't have a GoPro, although based on his footage from later when he did turn it on, it's probably a good thing that he didn't have it on because it's terrifying.
Shut up!
Anyway, it's time to get on to our actual first bit of onboard footage, courtesy of yours truly. Let's just have a nice little incident there with two guys. I am starting in 25th place for the Huddersfield A-Kart. This was the third race of the morning in the intermediate weight class. Should point out as well that with Jasper's 7th place, he started in 19th. So to beat the British Formula 3 driver Piers Pryor and to finish in P7 from P19, a very, very good job from Jasper, it must be said. P-Dubs was also on camera duty for this race, so let's hope he's able to catch some good footage, but we're just about ready to go with this race, and let's see how this plays out, shall we? You hate to see it, don't you? That sort of reckless driving, crashes all over the place, really bringing the glorious name of karting down a bit. Just such a shame. Shall we see that from another angle?
Come on.
I imagine that's how Moses felt after he parted the Red Sea. Absolutely fantastic, and massive props to P-Dubs as well for having the foresight to turn the camera on. So obviously that race would be restarting. Looks like we're just about ready to go for a restart there. Left a little bit of a gap to the guy in front. Not sure quite why I've done that, but anyway, we are going to get this race underway. The green smiley face has come on, and once again I'm going to go to the extreme outside to try and get a good run into the first corner and set myself up for the second part. Looks like we've got through that okay. It's just about getting through the chicane nice and easy, and obviously that's not what happened. I think I got a bit of a tap from behind there and on the grass as well, so I got to turn the engine off, drag the kart out, hit my leg in the process. That was really painful, and then set on my way just to try and recover this race, something that my mates were really sympathetic about.
Okay,
that's tough to take, isn't it, mate? That's really tough. That's really tough.
Hello, Rich team. It's P-Dubs here. JJ spun out. He's now in last. Not good for him, really, is it? He's going past now and still in last.
Shut the fuck up, James.
Cheers for that, Ryan. Probably couldn't have put it better myself. So something I haven't pointed out so far is that this is my very first time at Clay Pigeon. So getting punted out at the first corner, not really the end of the world. I can use this race as a bit of a practice session just to get myself acquainted with the track. I tried to follow Nicky for a bit, but as you can see, that really did not work. But later on I did find my groove, and I got a few places on those three guys who had some sort of verbal disagreement and ended up in the tyre barrier. And a little bit later on as well, we now come across this chap in the white helmet and black suit, a very common colour combination there in the BUKC and in Club 100 in general, it must be said. But now heading through the final corner, you can see I've just got a bit of a better exit on him, heading now up the straight, going to try and use the slipstream, this curving straight, this fantastic straight. And are we going to have a little look down the inside into turn one? Yes, we are, but the nature of turn one at Clay Pigeon means that if you go for an overtake like that, you are open to a repass, and that is exactly what has happened into the chicane. But now it looks like we've got a good run on him coming down towards the first hairpin, get late on the brakes, and the move is done. So now we can focus on trying to catch up to the guys in front. But on the very next lap, you can see here, he just gets past me through the chicane. One of the big rules of the weekend was to not go side by side through the chicane. We haven't gone side by side through the chicane on this occasion, but I have got a good run on him into the hairpin, and that is absolutely 100% that move done. Oh no, never mind, he has actually just got back past me. So this guy in the black and white, not going to be that much of a pushover, but something annoying happens at this point is that he's able to get past this gap in the blue and white. I'm not able to. You can see there the size of the gap that has opened up between us is huge, and that has also now allowed a man who I believe is from the University of Leeds to get past me as well. So hopefully this chap from Leeds can sort me out into turn one. He's going to go down the inside of the chap in the blue and white, give him a bit of a nudge, and I'm able to get past him as well. So this will help in my pursuit of the man in black and white. As you can see, a few laps later, I am now back onto the back of the man in black and white, and as you can see, he just touched the curb on the exit of the finals corner. So as we stake down towards turn one, is there going to be any overtaking opportunity? Well, there wasn't until he ran wide through the apex of turn one, and I'm able to go down the inside into the chicane, and that is the man in black and white dealt with. And by this point in the race, I had really found my rhythm, was really going for it, getting the second part of turn one a little bit wrong, it has to be said. We'll come to that in a bit, but as you can see here, I'm on the back of a guy who I believe is from Warwick, and I believe his name is Miles, and I also believe that I am now in front of him. Another on-track overtake in this race. Absolutely fantastic stuff, and even more fantastic is I now have an opportunity to go right toe-to-toe with my mate from Swansea. This is Jeremy Todd. Had some fantastic races with him over the past few years, and you wouldn't think that there was an overtaking opportunity into the hairpin at this stage, but Jeremy's made a complete balls up of that corner, and I'm able to just sive down the inside and get that place. So another on-track overtake, and what is this I see before my eyes? Are we going to go through the chicane just behind this chap in the black guy, and are we going to possibly see a move down the inside into the hairpin from much further back than before? Oh yes, why not? Let's have another one. So that's probably about 4 or 5 overtakes into the hairpin during this race, and that would bring this race to a conclusion. And considering that I was pointing the wrong way on the grass at the end of the first lap, to have come home in 21st place, having started 25th, I will 100% take that. That's a really good introduction to this track, and it certainly bodes well for the rest of the weekend.
Oh, I've got a brilliant shot of JV here.
James, there's a GoPro that's just fallen off.
Is there a GoPro that's just fallen off?
Yeah.
Explain it.
Now the fear there was that the GoPro that JV had found was the one that I had given to Tom so that we could film his race. But fortunately for me and fortunately for you, it wasn't. And unfortunately for Tom, I'm now going to bring you his race. So we're going to get this race underway any moment, and it looks like we have now got this race underway. There's the green smiley face, and we are racing. So Tom immediately going to the inside, taking the opposite approach that I did, and it looks like we just got a bit of a whack from behind, but it looks like he's made up about 3 positions there at the first corner. So now heading through the chicane, he's coming up right onto the rear of Craven. I think Wes Craven, is he a film director? I'm not entirely sure, but Tom now going this time to the outside of the first hairpin, and this might work against him, but no, actually he's just overtaken the entire population of Albania, and that is an absolutely fantastic little move there from Tom. Great decision. So he's also going to get around the outside of this chap in the white and black. No, he is not, but you can just see Ryan Edwards up there heading through the first corner, getting bumped out of the way, but no, Tom now being bumped out of the way by Thomas Fox from Coventry, one of the greatest helmets in the BUKC, and also got a lovely little ring to it, does his name. Fox on the run. The Fox is certainly on the run, going around the outside of Craven and that chap as well, but it's not quite worked on the chap in the white and black. And just as we go through the hairpin, that is Butcher killing Thomas Fox. And as Butcher has just killed Thomas Fox, that's just reminded me to remind everyone, when you're on the track, please, for the love of God,
don't be a cunt.
a phrase I like to live my life by. Anyway, the start was the only really good thing that happened in Tom's race. He gets overtaken into turn 1 on multiple occasions. A couple of highlights here, a couple of spinners as well though, so he's making up a few places, not making mistakes apart from the fact that he's just really slow in a straight line, and there's not really a lot you can do about that, but you can do a lot about being fast in corners. And as you see there, Butcher round the outside of the horseshoe, and from Butcher's perspective, Tom now is in fact
the invisible cunt.
So yeah, just not going well for Tom. But again, he's not having any spins. He is getting overtaken lots, but he's not having any spins. He's not making any drastic mistakes. And he's now actually got an opportunity on Craven coming down the straight, getting right up Craven's arse. And there's also a man in front as well, guy who's got C3 on the back of his suit. Craven goes down the inside. Is Tom going to be able to follow him through? He's going to have a look down the inside into the chicane, but it's just not quite enough, not quite got enough speed, and that is really unfortunate for Tom. Could have been a good overtake, but sadly it was not. Although a man in a bandit suit has now just appeared. Opportunity for Tom to do an overtake. Yes, well done. Into turn 1, and I'm not going to lie, that was his one and only overtake of this race outside of the start. So yeah, I think it's fair play. We bring this suffering to an end in a race that could only really be described as
Fucking diabolical. That was diabolical!
But in the interest of fairness, I decided to catch up with Tom after the race and find out how he thought that went.
No.
No, not even describe your race in one action.
No, it'll be my retirement video if I do.
Okay.
Tell it that I'm
Do you want to retire?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Film it.
Yep.
Leave the cones alone. It is said at the start of every single briefing that poor cone, just doing its job, has now got to go home to its wife and family all bloodied and bruised because you lot couldn't leave it alone. I just feel so sorry for the poor things. Anyway, we're now into the afternoon races. Tom's race was the last race of the morning, and we're back with your boy Jasper. As you can see, I have actually picked up the camera this time, but fortunately, Jasper's camera is turned on. And remember what I was saying earlier about it being terrifying? Well, this is the result, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens when you don't have a GoPro Hero 8. This is a Hero 4, and you've just got shaky death. So yeah, this is what we're going to have to put up with for this race, as we just see Jasper going down the inside of, I believe that's Bryn Griffith from Swansea, or Griffiths, I don't know how to say words really, but yeah, anyway, sticking on board with Jasper now, that guy in the white going down the inside of the guy in blue, and now Jasper on the inside of both of them, heading into the chicane, and that's 2 for the price of 1. Well done, Jasper, fantastic move there. Jasper really in his groove around this track, and now coming into the horseshoe, Jasper got an opportunity once again. Is he going to do? Surely he's not going to do another 2 for the price of 1, down the inside into the penultimate corner. Oh yes, he is. Fantastic stuff from the man from Bristol. still, and now coming into the hairpin. I nearly said chicane there, that would have been stupid. We're racing a guy who, as you can see by the back of his suit, is called Thule. So Jasper now going to the outside of the penultimate corner, no chance round there, but he's going to give himself a good run into the final corner, braking quite late. It's such a great corner, is that final corner. Now heading down the curved main straight. Jasper a little bit too far back to attempt any form of overtaking manoeuvre, but he's going to go for it anyway into the first corner, and that was an unnecessary risk there from Jasper. He may very well get a contact warning for that, but through the chicane he is still keeping on to the back of Thule. Now as we head into the hairpin, Jasper so much better and braver on the brakes than Thule was, and now he's going to surely have a great chance down the inside into the horseshoe. Well done, that man. A move I was also able to get on camera and was 100% paying attention to, definitely not doing anything stupid.
Oh, go on, Jasper. Always good on the inside.
You see, I was paying attention. Anyway, after that move on Thule, the race did calm down a bit, and you just saw Bryn going through shot there behind Jasper. They settled into their positions, just trying to work together until a full course yellow came out. Now this is a rare occurrence in the BUKC, in Club 100, but it can happen. I took myself on a little walk to see if I could find out what had happened, but before I could find out, the green flag came out, so didn't have a clue at the time. But fortunately, with the power of editing and the power of the onboard camera, we can see what happened from the perspective of Jasper. Not actually that exciting. A chap went into the barrier and they had to repair the barrier, and I think the car was a bit ruined as well. But on the restart, you can see there Jasper getting a little bit out of shape, and all of a sudden there goes Bryn. Bryn in the Swansea kart has got past Jasper in the Sheffield A kart, so Swansea overtakes Rich T Racing. We're always going to link together, and now Jasper and Bryn working together to see if they can get past this chap in the almost Kimi Raikkonen-esque helmet from this year. Bryn has got past as well, a bit of contact there getting the man out of the way, but as he tries to come down the inside of Jasper, Jasper just having none of it, and by the end of the penultimate corner, Jasper is in front, and that is how it would remain. Bryn would finish in 12th place for Swansea A, and Jasper in 13th for the Sheffield A car. A gain of 3 positions, so again, fantastic day for Jasper. He absolutely loves this track. Hopefully going to be racing with him next year when we come to play. I cannot wait for it. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great sadness that I have to say this is the final onboard race of the day. As I'm sure you can imagine, Tom didn't want to have a GoPro on for his final race, so we're on board with me starting in P9, and we are ready to get this race underway. But as you can see, for some unknown reason, I've just completely cocked the start up, left so much room in front of me, so we're already down 2 positions. Or it might have actually been quite a good thing that I left that space, because as you can see, there was a little bit of pandemonium through there. Now just that guy coming across the front of me, nearly spinning out himself and nearly spinning me out, but I've got my own problems riding the sausage, which I did quite enjoy, I have to say, but from a go-kart point of view, not really enjoyable, and you've lost more places there. I'm losing so many places on this opening lap. You can just see it's the entire population of Lithuania have just overtaken me on this opening lap. There goes some more round the outside. That's a very nice helmet, I have to say, from that chap there in the green and yellow. But yeah, as you can just see, it just all went to shit during this start. Oh yeah, there we go. I have another one. I don't know how many places I lost at the start of this race, but to say that it was a lot would be an understatement. But anyway, we move on. We're now on to a few laps later, and you can see there's been a little bit of an incident between that chap in the all red and somebody else who was in the tyre barriers, so we're making up a few positions, and as another spinner heads off into the chicane, we've got an opportunity on this chap in the black helmet. I'm for some reason though going to go to the extreme outside, run onto the non-grippy stuff and lose yet another position, so well done, Johners, you absolute twat. Anyway, we cut forward significantly further into this race, and now you can see that I'm onto the back of my old mate from Swansea, Ryan Edwards. This is a race I did not expect to be having. Ryan has been notoriously good around this track for the Swansea team, as I get a lovely little move there on that chap in the green and yellow, courtesy of Ryan, who just came back at him from nowhere. yeah, it's now time for me to race the chap that I looked up to back in 2017. He was the be-all and end-all, and now I've got an opportunity to get an overtake done on him. So, heading in through the final corner, the fantastic final corner, got a good exit out of there, and now going to use the slipstream to try and go down the inside into turn 1. We're waiting for turn 1 to come up, and here we go, late on the brakes. Now, we would be expecting Ryan to come back down the inside of me, and he is there, I assure you he is, and for some reason, I've decided not to follow the rules, and I've decided to run side by side through there. You can see the chap in green and yellow gets past me, Ryan goes past as well, and then for some reason, 2 guys sandwich me. Not really sure. Particularly the guy on the inside I can understand, the guy on the outside however, not a clue what he was trying to go around the outside there, but that is what happens in karting, I suppose. When the visor goes down, some people just lose their heads. Anyway, back to the fight between me and Ryan. As you can see, I'm firmly still in this race after that after that sandwich even, and now are we going to have a look down the inside into turn 1, or have we learned our lesson from last time? It would appear that we have learned our lesson. We've stuck behind him through turn 1, because Ryan still good enough to get past me on the exit, but coming through the chicane, as you can see, got a much better run on him, heading down the inside into the hairpin, and the move is done. Really enjoyed that one, really good fight, and now it is all about just settling into the race and using this once again as a practice session for Drivers' Champs on Sunday. How hard could that be? I could try and come up with any number of excuses as to what happened there, but in the end, I just took my eye off the ball, forgot my braking zone, and fucked it. So yeah, no real other explanation for that. But as you can see, we're now onto the back of Ryan once again. Ryan was not having a good day. I don't think lockdown treated him very well, and as you can see, it's going to be a carbon copy repeat of the move earlier, down the inside into the hairpin, and that is another place gain for me, and that would bring this race to a conclusion. Not a lot of footage after that, or nothing really worth seeing, and yeah, I crossed the line once again in 21st place. So again, to have had another utterly crap start, to come home in 21st at a track I've never done before, I will 100% take that. I really enjoyed racing around Clay Pigeon, really got my eye in, and really now looking forward to the Inters Day and Drivers' Championship. Of course, this is the final bit of footage of the day, little bit of Tom. He did much better than his previous race. Last race, I don't think I mentioned it, but he finished in 26th place. This time, much better from him. He finished in 25th. So a fantastic improvement there from Tom to cap off what has been a fantastic start to Finals Weekend. Driver of the day without doubt was Jasper, beating the British Formula 3 driver Piers Pryor in that first race. Absolutely fantastic. I'd say I had a decent day, and Tom, bad day at the office. Hopefully he can improve on Sunday for the Drivers' Champs. Do be sure to keep an eye out on this channel for the next 2 videos that are going to be the Inters Day and then finally Drivers' Champs. Cannot wait to bring those out for you. And as ever guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and all I shall say for now is ta-ta and farewell.